It's hard to believe this majestic park was once the scene of a horrific disaster. The way it looks today only sheds tiny glimpses of the place it once was on that day in 1924. Over 100 years ago, where in a matter of minutes, 41 men lost their lives at the bottom of the mine. These men were only 15 minutes away from going home that day. Only 15 minutes away. Well, good evening. Welcome to Tom Sylvania, my new channel. I am Tom, bringing you the haunting of the Milford Mine. That's right, probably one of the only places I will be able to visit in person. It's just north of where I live, Crosby, Minnesota, located around Foley Lake. And as you can see, it's winter here in Minnesota now, but when I filmed most of the stuff at the actual park, it was not winter, obviously, but it is now, so that's why I whipped out the flannels, got my stocking caps on, be ready to go. So we can't dive in and talk about the haunting without coming up with a little bit of a backstory first, right? I mean, you want to know a little bit of history about this place. It's quite interesting. So this all takes place in 1924, and early 1924, this mine was booming. 200-foot deep, one main mine shaft with multiple different levels. Now, anyone could think drilling next to a lake probably wouldn't be the best idea, but sometimes if that's where the stuff is, that's where the ore is, then safety measures get overlooked. Yep, that's my furnace kicking in. Middle of winter. But anyway, the mine was owned by George H. Crosby, the namesake of the town of Crosby. He owned multiple different mines in this location, all with some severely lacking safety measures. So we get to February 5th, the date of the disaster in 1924. And they weren't even supposed to work that day. My memory recalls, I believe it was a weekend, but they were called in to work that day. Their shift ended at 4 o'clock. The disaster took place at 3:45. So at 3:45, with 15 minutes left of their shift, these tired miners were eager to be getting going home. Unfortunately, that's when they knew something was wrong, as a gust of wind overtook each one of them. Now, if you don't know what that means, see, when you're in like a mine shaft or anything like that, there's only so much air volume in a mine shaft. And if the wind starts rushing at you at quite some speed, you know there's something taking up air volume in that mine. And I bet each one of them knew what was going on. It took 15 minutes for the mine to completely fill. And in that 15 minutes, only 7 men made it to the exit. Cleanup efforts lasted until November of that year. Shortly after that, the mine reopened, but not without challenges of a paranormal sort. As the first crew got lowered down the mine shaft to begin work that day, they saw a white light at the bottom, and getting closer, they could make out that white light was a man. A man with a rope tied around his waist. As they reached the bottom, the man disappeared. And as work did resume, many miners recall hearing emergency sirens echoing through the mines, as well as unexplained gusts of wind. The mines ceased operation for good in 1932, where the Great Depression had just started and the need for ore was slowly declining. And although the mine had been abandoned at that point, the paranormal activity seemed to continue throughout the surrounding area. To the mining town, which seen shadow images and shadow people, all the way to disembodied voices and all sorts of everything in between. I've had the opportunity to be there 3 times, once alone, the other 2 times with family members. I remember when I was alone hearing a few strange sounds, but honestly, when you're walking through this place, you can't tell if you're next to somebody until you're 5 feet away from them. A lot of twists and turns and hidden areas, and I'm sure sound carries, and I'm sure it was just other people there. But who knows? Today, the area is a beautiful memorial park dedicated to all the people that lost their lives on that day. It is today a beautiful place with breathtaking views and a haunting backstory to go along with it. If you're ever in the area, stop out. You might hear some disembodied voices or somebody peering around a tree. Or you just have a good time. Who knows? It's quite the interesting place to visit. Here are some more clips of my journey there.